have Gripman, and they have some brilliant chaps in there. But if you look at the current Olympics team, it's a newly carved team of new breed. They've let go of the old guard, new coach in Sule Adamu. But to talk about the other side, Accra Suffolk themselves, we saw them in the Gaka Top 4 competition where they gave a decent account themselves to bring that feel-good factor around the club again. And for the Phobians, they have every reason to be auspicious ahead of the major season. Because in Kodidi Dramani, they have an experienced guy, a proven winner, former winner of the Ghana Premier League with arch rivals Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And if you look at the kind of recruitment that the Phobians have done, their coach was at the heart of everything that they did. You look at Duku, Baba Adamu, Ali Mohammed, all these guys. You look at Abdul Karim. They are one of the finest holding midfielders in the Ghana Premier League currently. We saw his exploits in the Gaka Top 4 competition, especially against Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the last match of the tournament. And from the way House of Folk let off in the Gaka Top 4 competition, I know the fans are raring to see our team this evening play against their cross-town nemesis, Accra Great Olympics here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium.
Well, a lot of people are looking forward to this match with a bated breath by virtue of the fact that Accra Great Olympics and Accra Hearts of Oak have a rich history. Let me make the opening comments from Nanedu.
A good game to watch today. When you look at both sides, they are preparing themselves very well for the season ahead of us. When you look at the House of Folk team, 15 new signings. Most of them are a part of the Monday squad. We want to see new things in the House of Folk team. In the last 3 years, they've been suffering in the Ghana Premier League. They were able to make it into the top 4 last season in the Ghana Premier League under Ouakari Ouattara. You can see a new wind blowing under Masud Didimani. And as it stands now, they are the most informed team currently in Ghana now. They're playing some good football. I watched them in the President Cup against Asante Kotoko. I watched them in the top 4 together with Kwandu Haplanans, Asante Kotoko and Bebiani Gold Stars. And I can say today, the informed currently in the local scene is Accra Hearts of Oak. They are playing well. Hamza Issa, Fraduku, players like Rafael Amponsa, and of course, Abdul Karim. Didi Dramani has rejuvenated them with some big vim in them that they are playing well the top 4. And I think that is one thing Hearts of Oak supporters need to expect at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. Lee Mohammed, Kelvin Osiesibe, and Kabefi coming back from loan from Dream City. Ranford Mensah, former Danboat player, they are all playing well. So you can see something is working with them in a rehearsed party in Didi Dramani's team. For Great Olympics, Sule Adamu, one of the experienced guys in Division 1, he has not coached a Premier League side because of license. He has license B. But he's one of the coaches that rich experience in Zone 3. Coaching Korea United just last season, he was able to make sure he was one of the best teams in the Zone 3. Now coaching the Olympics, they have some few experienced players who have tested the Premier League at their side. So there's something Olympics is coming into the game with, and I think one of the teams to watch this particular season in Zone 3 is Great Olympics.
It's interesting that we are pairing these two sides at this time of the competition. First of all, they are both in the pre-season final lap of preparations, preparing their teams for the Premiership and the First Division. For our Hearts of Oak, they've had the opportunity of showcasing what they to the rest of the world by virtue of the Galka Top 4, which they did very well. For Accra Great Olympics, it's going to be their first serious competitive game since the preseason began, and they have played some low-quality sides. But of course, they have also fine-tuned themselves up. What will be the expectations? Let's take a look at the expectations from the two technical benches. What goes into this game for Didi Dramani? What goes to the game for the Accra Great Olympics Gaffer Sule?
Well, if you look at Sule Adamu, I know him for some time. Trust me, had it not been because of restrictions of the CAF license certificate on the local scene, that if you don't have CAF license, you can't coach in the Ghana Premier League. Sule Adamu, the current coach of Great Olympics, should be coaching in the Ghana Premier League.
He did his license B in way back 2014. So 11 years he's here to do the license A because of the organization in our football.
Wow.
Since 2014, we've not done license A in this country.
Wow.
So if you look at him, he's a kind of coach that you find difficult to break his team down, and he loves to play expansive football. For Great Olympics, to go in, look around, and to try to bring him to the club speaks a lot about how they did their scouting on the coaching. You look at Eric Alagidi, the current CEO of the club. He knows Ghana football inside out. For him to bring Sule Adamu to Great Olympics, tell you that they know where they are and where they want to take the club to. For him, you can look at the kind of recruitment that they have done. And this evening, if you look at what he's trying to do, he's starting the game in a 3-5-2 formation. He has watched Accra Hearts of Oak in the Gaka Top 4 competition and realized that Hearts of Oak has some exciting players in central midfield. You can talk about Abdul Karim, you can talk about Raul Amponsa, Martin Kakari, George Panko,
David
Opon-Afrani, who is very versatile. He can play as a centre back, and he can play as a holding midfielder. He saw them against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and he realized that Hearts of Oak won the game because of the transitions from central midfield into attacking channels. He has to stifle them in central midfield, limit them to playing short passing range, because if they have the pitch to themselves, they will exploit you and carve you open at premium. And for Adamu, his approach this evening speaks volume. For Kodidi Dramani, he will go into this game thinking, what kind of opposition will Olympics throw at him? Because they've not had the opportunity to scout Olympics play any competitive game like the way Olympics has done on them. So it will take him a little bit of time to be able to know exactly what to do. But he will come into the game feeling like we are the most informed team. We can play our normal game and push Olympics to come and play to our rhythm. And for him, continuity is key. He has the players, the big players, all the big guns are on display this evening. And he will send them out there to go and fight for all the 3 maximum points at stake to be able to win the cup.
There's a lot at stake for Accra Great Olympics and Accra Hearts of Oak anytime they have the opportunity to meet each other. There's first the bragging rights, and then of course who reigns supreme over the other when it comes to 90 minutes of action. Now going into this game and wary of the fact that Accra Great Olympics themselves are playing in the lower division, will you say that their pre-season has been less intense as compared to what Accra Hearts of Oak have gone through?
I think it's about when they started the preseason. In a football team, you need minimum of 6 weeks proper preseason. You start with the conditioning, you come to status and physicality, and you start to play, high-profile friendly games. So I can see Olympics are in their 5th preseason period, and I think they are preparing themselves for Division 1. When you look at Sula Adamu, he believes in the 3-back system, 3-5-2 formation, and is one of the tactical brains in the local scene, especially in Zone 3. When you look at that particular zone, I call it a Premier League Anes. Because they have a lot of Premier League clubs there. They have teams who are ready to come into the Premier League. Last season, Port City was one of the best teams in Zone 3. Yeah. This particular season, True Democracy want to qualify. A team like Olympics want to qualify. Atom Dibiza, they were in the quarterfinal stage of the FA Cup. Golden Cakes, they were in the finals of the FA Cup. It's a team, Home Stars, they find themselves there. So, Accra Lions, they moved to Division 1, Zone 3. So, it's a form of a Premier League Anes.
Accra Lions and Wafa has also joined Zone 3.
Also there. So, they are preparing themselves for the Premier League. And I see them as one of the favorites to qualify from that group. So, it's going to be a difficult game today at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium.
Well, it's interesting that we're talking about these statistics because, again, going into the game, it gives you a fair idea of what kind of leverage both teams will go into the game. Obviously, for Accra Hearts of Oak to maintain a certain level of status, if not raise it higher, they would want to go into this game, number one, first of all, as favorites, but also number two, to show their fans that they are just about getting ready for the Premiership. The Premiership is not going to be an easy one, and we know that the battle will be tough. Let's start off with Accra Hearts of Oak and take a look at what kind of season are we expecting based on the quality of the players they have and based on the preseason. What kind of expectations do we have? Maybe going into the first couple of games for the season.
Well, if you look at Accra Hearts of Oak, a club that is more than 100 years, they want to play in the Ghana Premier League and win the Ghana Premier League every single season. Hearts and Kotoko will always love to go out there and win the matches and win the big trophies, which is the MTN FA Cup, the Ghana Premier League, and the Super Cup every season for their fans. And you don't fault the fans or whatever they demand from the players. And the players themselves know that if you are going to play for Hearts of Oak, then you have to be the caliber of players that should be playing in the big games and winning the big games. You have to boss the Ghana Premier League. That's how come they've gone for Kodidi Dramani, a proven winner in the Ghana Premier League. So for Hearts of Oak, they would love to bounce back. Ever since Samuel Boadu won the Ghana Premier League for them, they've been punching below their weight. This season, the mood and the mentality around the club tells you everything about this team going into the major season. They want to win the Ghana Premier League in the 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League. And if you look at the kind of signings they've done, it will tell you that they are really in for a fight. They don't want to play a second fiddle or third fiddle or fourth fiddle to any team in the Ghana Premier League. If you look at even their starting 11 in this game, you could tell that they are fired out for this one. Yaman Kwabefi, Kevin Osiasibe, Muhammad Ali, and Ransford Mensah. The only changes, the only substitution that you see there at the back line is the absence of the goalkeeper and the captain of the team, Benjamin Asari, who is currently with the Black Stars. In midfield, you look at, Abdul Karim starts, David Opoafrani starts as well, Enoch Esubontin, as well as Martin Kakari. This is the same midfielder he played against Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the last match of the Gaka Top 4. And up front, Frank Duku partner Hussein Mohammed. Hamza Issa will start from the bench this evening. So this is one of the strongest starting 11 that you can see from Kodidi Dramani. Barring injuries to Baba Adamu, the golden kick centre back, he would have been playing this evening. But he only resumed training on Wednesday. So they are just being cautious with him. That's why they are not involving him in this game. So if you look at them, you can tell that continuity is key for the Phobians.
I see. Okay. Now let's look at Accra Great Olympics again briefly. There's a lot of content or intent in terms of those who want to qualify from Division 3, that zone that Accra Great Olympics find themselves, into the Premiership. How smooth or difficult will this be?
The way they fare against House of Folk will give a sign of how Olympics team will fare in Zone 3. So I'm sure Sule Adamu would like to throw his best men on the field to play House of Folk. When we're able to manage this game and get at least a win or a draw against House of Folk, it gives the supporters hope that Olympics are on the verge of qualifying to the Premier League. They will prepare themselves for the Premier League. So the game they play against House of Folk today is crucial in their quest to qualify for the Premier League.
Okay, teams have just about wrapped up with their warm-ups, and they've been invited back into the dressing room, which means that any moment from now, they will be coming onto the field, and they will be welcomed by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, who is also here present to observe the Democracy Cup. But again, if the season is going to be tough for Accra Great Olympics, and it's going to be even tougher for Accra Hearts of Oak, for competitions like the Gaka Top 4, the Democracy Cup, etc., etc., will it put these two teams in some form of high-level preparation and high-level intent as they attack their various leagues?
Yeah, sure. You know, this is a high-profile cup match, and the winner of this particular match will be playing against a team from the United States in the United States of America.
Okay.
So the added incentive is huge. The president of the country is here. All the big men from the parliament, the Speaker of Parliament, Albang Bagbin, Honorable Albang Bag, all of them are here. And it presents the players the opportunity to be able to market themselves to their fans. And for the coaches, it presents them an ample opportunity to be able to outdo exactly whatever they've been doing in the past 2 weeks again on the training pitches. For Great Olympics, it will inform their fans the sort of season they should anticipate ahead of the 2025-2026 season. Because for them to test their might against Accra Hearts of Folk speaks volume. And it tells you they were not just picked by fluke, they were picked based on merit. And Olympics always believe that, be it in any competition, they'll be able to give House of Folk a tough game. And this evening, they are really, really motivated to step out onto this pitch here and give everybody around the world watching this game a proper game to enjoy.
All right, we'll be joining the action shortly. We are just about being given signals from security setup and the organizers that the first gentleman of the land will be joining us shortly. First 45 minutes, what will be your take?
Well,
first 45.
Well, I expect to see free-flowing attacking football. Both teams will have a go at each other. You know, the Division 1 teams love to run a lot, and Coach Sule Adamu's team are always drilled. They don't play it low block. They always play expansive football. So they'll take the game to House of Folk. They'll play in their face. They'll run at them. The last time we watched a Division 1 team play against a Premier League team here was in the MTN FA Cup final, where Golden Kicks gave Kumasi Asante Kotoko a very tough game. And for Great Olympics, we expect them to play in the same rich vein of form.
Okay. Nanedu, first 45 minutes, what are your expectations?
A slim win for Great Olympics. I see Olympics leading by 1-0 in the first 45 minutes. I've monitored their training. When you look at their setup and the system that Coach Sule Adamu plays, it will be difficult for House of Folk to score more goals in today's game. So I see a first half 1-0 win for Great Olympics.
Well, my pundits have said it clearly. It's going to be a keenly contested game A probably 1-0 slim advantage for Accra Great Olympics is what Nana Edu sees. But for those who have witnessed both Accra Hearts of Oak and Accra Great Olympics at training, you have a fair idea of what these two teams are made of. The fans of Accra Great Olympics believe that they are content with what they have seen from the technical bench and the training and the players at training. So says the fans of Accra Hearts of Oak. Now is the time to separate the two from each other. For Accra Great Olympics, they always feel that it's an easy game when they play against Accra Hearts of Oak. Accra Hearts of Oak, like Blackgate said from the beginning, have really suffered to beat Accra Great Olympics. But the big question is, with the Democracy Cup at stake, which of these two sides will start as favorites? Will it be the famous red, yellow, blue colors of Accra Hearts of Oak, or it will be the predominant white and blue colors of Accra Great Olympics? First 45 minutes will be a very tough game, a very cagey encounter indeed, but we are looking at a positive performance from these two sides. And of course, at the end of it all, we will come back here and wrap up by asking the general questions. How did the performance go? Good luck to Accra Hearts of Oak. Good luck to Accra Great Olympics. Thank you very much for joining us. Commentary will be standing by to run you through the rest of the proceedings, and we will come your way again at the end of presentations. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the University of Ghana Stadium here in Accra. It's the 2025 Democracy Cup between Hearts of Oak and Great Olympics. The game was played last season, and it was a maiden edition between the Phobians and their rivals Asante Kotoko. Kotoko went on to win that game and eventually went to play in the United States of America in that game, which ensured that at least Ghana's representation was really felt in the United States. We are back again for the second edition of the Democracy Cup under the auspices of the Speaker of Parliament of Ghana, and this game is expected to strengthen Ghana's democratic credentials with a beautiful sport of football. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse, together with Josiah Okokwe. We are your commentators for this evening's fixture here in Legon. These two teams will not only be battling for the glittering trophy at stake, but they would also be battling it out for the bragging rights. The Phobians say they are the landlords. Olympics claim they only rented out the land to the Phobians, and the Phobians can be termed as land guards. So today, we see who really owns the city in the Manchester Derby. You can also call this game the Gamashi Derby. It's Olympics and Hearts of Oak squaring it off here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. A lot of big dignitaries are in attendance this evening here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, including His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, and the Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Alban Sumana. It tells you the importance the two have attached to this game, leading to bring onto the pitch the trophy for the 2025 Democracy Cup are two former national players, Yao Amakwamreku, a former captain of Hearts of Oak, and George Al-Hassan, a former captain of Great Olympics. Interesting scenes here.
George Al-Hassan won the Africa Cup of Nations trophy in 1978 and 1982. Also, Amakwamreku is the man who won the title for Hearts of Oak, when they won the CAF Champions League.
George Al-Hassan was part of the Black Stars team that won the last AFCON that Ghana won in 1982, and Amakwame Eku was also part of the famous Hearts of Oak team that drew goalless with Nigeria in the build-up to the 2002 FIFA World Cup in Japan and Korea. He went on to play in the African Cup of Nations in Mali in 2002. So the both have paid their dues to national team football.
Yeah, and I believe that's just the best way to renew, old rivalry. At least some of these players playing for either Hearts or Great Olympics will really understand the significance, of the rivalry between these two city neighbors. And then also today at stake, that glittering, beautiful trophy.
Beautiful atmosphere here at the University of Ghana Stadium. All is set, but before the game kicks off, the official pre-match formalities, we see the speaker stepping onto the pitch alongside His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, and possibly a ceremonial kickoff before the real deal comes up.
Definitely, it wouldn't really, feel like the Democracy Cup without that iconic speech from the Speaker of Parliament. There's been a series of presses already, even before the kickoff, and it really tells what this game means, to every single Ghanaian, and especially, the Speaker, the custodian, of democracy in this country.
This coverage is live on Max TV, and we're live from the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. It's also live on Star Times at the channel 247. Protocols are being duly observed because of the personalities who have popped up here at the University of Ghana Stadium. The security are leaving nothing to chance, and the organizers are doing everything possible to ensure everything is well in place for the game.
I don't think the guard will be lowered this evening as far as security is concerned. Nana Dankwa JC, you're looking at the top personalities. We are looking at the lawmakers, we are looking at the judiciary, we are looking at the executive, arm of government, and every single rep from every single branch of government is here today. So definitely, security would be at its maximum best.
These days, Olympics are playing in the Division 1 league. They play in Zone 3. Their main focus is to regain entry into the Ghanaian top flight. And for their more illustrious neighbors, Hearts of Oak, they are hoping to win the Premier League for the first time in about 4 seasons. They brought on board Masoud Didi Dramani as the new coach, and Olympics have also brought on board Sule Adamu, and they've taxed him to ensure the team regain their Premier League status.
Apparently, I've heard a couple of people saying because Olympics are playing in Division 1, then that might make this game, any less of that competitive game we would be expecting. But tell you what, Nana, I just believe Great Olympics would put aside the fact that they are playing in the Division 1 Zone 3. They would really be going boot for boot with this Hearts of Oak team. And whenever they meet, you know how feisty it is. You know how hostile it gets between these two sides. I expect a very tough game between these two teams.
Waiting for the arrival of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Alban Kingsford Sumana Bagden. Big personalities gracing the 2025 Democracy Cup.
It doesn't get better than this to have the president of the land gracing this particular one. And tell you what, I was there last year for the first edition, but then this is just an upgrade of whatever we saw last year. To have the president here and then also the Speaker of Parliament is just massive.
And CEO of the Headlines sponsor, Mr. Alex Apau Kade. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause.
The president is very keen on football and is giving every indication that he's going to push Ghana football to the very highest level. We might just hold on and listen to what the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Alvin Baggin, has got to say to the people who have gathered here and those watching us live around the globe. What we need to know about this Democracy Cup.
Definitely, definitely.
Right, Honorable Albert Sumana, Sports Backman. A big round of applause as we hand over to it.
Just loves the cameras, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. I saw a picture of him training this morning in the build-up to this game, but not too sure what he intended to do, whether it was going to be a guest player or not.
Yeah, there were reports he pulled a muscle.
Oh, he pulled a muscle.
Of Ghana. My Lord, the Acting Chief Justice, Justice Bafuboni, the Chief of Staff, and other staffers of the Office of the President, Honorable Ministers of State and Members of Parliament, the Clerk to Parliament and staff of Parliament, particularly the soccer team and the Parliamentary Service football team, the Chief of Defense Staff and the Inspector General of Police, the Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, the Chairperson of the National Commission on Civic Education, our gracious sponsors, relatives and representatives of governance institutions, our beloved legends, the former Black Stars players, our friends and partners from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The much-awaited day is here. The day we have for weeks trained and prepared for. Our training in Parliament commenced with dynamic stretches, light jogging, and mobility exercises to build our muscles and lubricate our joints. After that, we proceeded with skill development, focusing on dribbling, passing, shooting, and ball control. We progressed to tactical training by conducting small-sided games to practice positioning and teamwork. Finally, the unconquerable team from Parliament went through fitness training, blending aerobic and anaerobic exercises, and using interval training to improve stamina and speed. And you all witnessed what happened. We conquered our opponents from the judiciary. We promised that we were going to score 3 goals, and we actually scored 3 goals. On behalf of the leadership, the members of Parliament, and the staff, we congratulate the victorious parliamentary team. Your Excellency, we are here to enjoy the beautiful game of football. And in doing so, we pick up a lesson or two from soccer to enhance our democracy. First, soccer teaches us teamwork and collaboration. Successful teams rely on collaboration, with each player performing a specific role, similar to how democratic systems function, with various branches of government working together. Also, effective communication among players mirrors the need for open dialogue in democratic processes. Secondly, soccer admonishes our democracy to abide by rules of fair play. The game operates under a clear set of rules that ensure fairness, just as democracies must operate with established laws and regulations to maintain order, civility, and protect rights. Your Excellency, adherence to rules in football can inspire and do inspire respect for the rule of law, a virtue our democracy badly needs. Thirdly, soccer encourages participation from diverse groups. The club owners, sponsors, players, management team, technical team, medical team, supporters, etc. This reflects the democratic principle of inclusivity, leaving nobody behind. Encouraging all stakeholders leads to better decision-making and representation. Fourthly, soccer teaches us accountability in leadership. Coaches and players are held accountable for their performance, similar to how elected officials are accountable to their constituents. Besides, coaches, team captains, and players are called upon to make strategic decisions, sometimes on the spur of the moment and under pressure. This is akin to the challenges faced by political leaders in a democracy, particularly the president of the country. Finally, leaders in the democracy must learn from the game of football how to be adaptable, strategic, and statecraft. Teams must adapt their strategies based on the opponent's game plan. This can be likened to the need for democratic systems to evolve in response to societal dynamics, changes, and challenges. Flexibility, adaptability, and pragmatism in approach can enhance resilience in governance. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here not just to kick these inflated leather globes around. The playing pitch is a lecture theater. The game is a lecture on democracy and governance. And these players who who are poised for action are our lecturers. We are now having lecturers today from Accra House of Oaks and Great Olympics. On this note, I have the singular honor to invite the President of the Republic to undertake the official kickoff for the commencement of the match. May the better team win the match. Long live Ghana's democracy. Long live football made in Ghana. Long live the Republic of Ghana. Parliament is the anchor and answer. I thank you all for your listenership.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're grateful to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbe,
For the ceremonial kickoff.
who will be inspected by His Excellency the President and all the dignitaries, after which we'll roll off to the very big kickoff.
So the two teams emerge out of the tunnel. The Phobians in their rainbow colors over purple shorts and red stockings, and Great Olympics in their traditional blue and white jerseys here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. This is a traditional fixture, and on any day, these two teams will give you some good football depicting of a derby meeting.
Exactly, and I think both sets of fans have really missed this fixture because in the last year we've not had any meetings officially between Accra Hearts of Oak and Accra Great Olympics. So definitely we'll enjoy some good football here.
Accra Hearts of Oak in the time
Ladies and gentlemen,
success in terms of silverwares. The most recent one was the Bese Manche Homo Charity Peace Cup, which they won at the expense of Pando Hearts of Lions.
will go ahead to inspect the two teams, beginning with Accra Hearts of Oak.
Official exchange of pleasantries with Honorable Abin Babin leading with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Former Ghana Football Association Vice President Fred Papo, he's been in the thick of events in terms of ensuring that there's a successful democracy. Don't forget, he's also a staunch Great Olympics fan. He's been at management and on the board a couple of times.
And that's one aspect that really makes it even more interesting, knowing that even the people at the top levels even have got their own, allegiances and all.
Interesting to see Samuel Kusi, the former King Faisal captain, wearing the arms band for Great Olympics in this evening's fixture. He comes with a lot of experience. Tony Buffo, Black Stars legend, takes time to exchange pleasantries with the Speaker of Parliament. So all set, we're good to go here at the University of Ghana Stadium as Olympics and Hearts of Oak squaring it off for the 2025 Democracy Cup. I guess it will be time for us to observe the national anthem of the Republic of Ghana. There's a great trophy on your screens now.
Toboy! 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 And now His Excellency the President and the dignitaries would go over and have one big picture with the two clubs.
So the dignitaries and the players will go for an official photo before the start of the game with a big banner with the inscription AGL Democracy Cup 2025.
George Alasa, the two-time crown winner, and Amakwariku, who won the CAF Champions League with the Accra Hearts of Oak.
That's quite an iconic moment there, having both sets of teams, or both sets of players from the two teams, and then also officials, the president, the speaker, and then other dignitaries, and having a photo shoot. I think this would hang, the perhaps administration officers or administrative, how do I put it? The museums, if they do have one, then I think this photo will definitely leave with both teams for a very, very long time.
President Mahama is getting ready for the official ceremonial kickoff. There we go, His Excellency has done it.
Before he kicked that ball, he pointed to the roof. Yeah. I was thinking he was going to hit that one very hard, but that was as far as it could go.
The president's son, Sharaf Mahama, he's always been around to support his father, and he's here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium to see who wins the 2025 Democracy Cup. Hearts of Oak lineup: goalkeeper Shaib, Beifi, Mensah, Ali Mohammed, Kelvin Osei Sibe, Enoch Esubontin, and Opon Frane playing in that midfield with Frank Duku, the new boy, who is gradually warming himself in the house of the Phobian fans, leading the attack with Abdul Karim, Martin Kakari, and Mohamed Hussein supporting from midfield. Masoud Didi Dramani gradually becoming the fans' favorite after some exciting performances from the Phobians in recent games. For Great Olympics, they also have a new gaffer, and they'll be hoping he gets them the silverware this time. Our center referee is Theophilus Sechi, assisted by Abraham Pate and Alex Amwabin. Kojola Abiweja is our fourth referee. Atiso, Ejenim, Bochwe, and Kusi, who completes the back four. There's Esio, Dapa, Kobna, Ako, Boache, and Islam Mohammed leading the attack for Great Olympics. Osaisibe wearing the armband for the Phobians this evening. His leadership qualities has never been in doubt, and he's stepping in for Black Stars goalkeeper Benjamin Asari, who was away on national duties with the Black Stars in the World Cup qualifier against Chad in N'Djamena yesterday. They never say die until the bones are rotten. And Great Olympics equally get themselves ready for this Gamashi Derby at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium.
Just can't wait for this game to get started. Just look at the demeanor of both sets of players, and it tells you that they are both ready for this, regardless of, you know, where they find themselves, which leagues they are playing.
There we go. Game underway here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium in Legon. Hatsabok making early incursions. Olympics trying desperately to clear their lines. Here is Augustus Esio. He allows his goalkeeper, Doatiso, to come to the rescue. Olympics have a free kick, is quickly taken. Here is Esio. Tries to go through the middle, he goes to his centre back, Botre. But Isibe gets it away, Good run from Martin Kakari. Hatzavok into Olympics territory. Here is Kakari, very skillful. Lays one, Abdul Karim. But he's lost possession. Olympics have it through John Aite. Isibe goes up, and he's won the free kick for the Phobians. A bit of shove on him by the Olympics attacker.
Right call by the referee, and that was just bad intent, you know, from the Olympics attacker over there, not to have contested for that ball.
Osei Isibe. There's a good crossing, but nobody at the end of it for the Phobians. Esio. The Olympics goalkeeper under pressure with a desperate clearance. Duku is lurking, but Olympics will clear their lines. Mensah all the way back to goalkeeper Sharib. Olympics on the move on the right-hand side. confident play from the Hasselhoff goalkeeper. Samuel Kusi for Olympics, pushed down right before referee Theophilus Secher. Free kick for Olympics.
Definitely would just have to see this game start with on a combative note between these two sides. We've seen Hasselhoff player shove an Olympics player before. And that's the kind of rivalry between these two sides. But in Hasselhoff, they look a bit more fitter with the way they're moving the ball.
Ivan Texey. Olympics on the right side of attack is a cross, but not troubling the Hasselhoff defense.
That's what you want to see, especially if you are in that Olympics dugout. At least, you know, try and take the game to Accra Hasselhoff. You wouldn't want to show them too much respect now, despite the fact that you're a division below, you know, your city rivals, and that's what Great Olympics are trying to do. They might not relent. They might just try to play cautiously, but then they'll have to take their chances.
Mensah, he's made the Hasselhoff left back position. Yes, at least under Didi Dramani. Too much weight on that ball for Enoch Esubontin. Hussein, Abdul Karim, chance to drive one in, is blocked by Botre. Here is Amankwa Befi. Stopped in his tracks by Jonah Aite. Aite goes down, referee whistles for a foul against Amankwa Befi.
And he just put himself into trouble there, Amankwa Befi. He had space, he had the option to also pass the ball backwards a bit, but then that turn was a bit slow there, allowing his marker to just steal the ball.
Sharif Sharif. Here's Esebe. That's clever defending from the Olympic centre-back, Ajanim. Ali Mohammed all the way back to Sharif Shaib. It's your return set for Olympics. Abdul Karim unable to make contact. Afrani gets to Karim. Hussein to Afrani. These days he's enjoying his midfield role. Mensah. The poor touch from Hussein. Islam bitten to it by Ali Mohammed, who wants options, and he finds his centre-back partner, Esibe. It'll be interesting to see how these guys compete for places in central defense. There's Adamu and there's Esibe as well as Ali Mohammed.
Yeah, and that's the sort of competition the coach wants to bring into this team. He just doesn't want you to feel relaxed as if, you know, the position is yours and you can't be displaced. Everyone can be displaced in this kind of team, and that's the kind of philosophy Coach Masoud Didi Dramani wants to bring over there. And I'm quite surprised that after, you know, playing the 3-back system a couple of times in their last games, he's resorted to the 4-back system, and it still looked okay for them. There's not been a situation you'd say, you know, they look panicking or anything like that, and I believe that's the sort of confidence you'd always want to play with.
He doesn't have a left-footed centre-back in the squad. Probably reason is reverted to the back four now. Here is Esubontin, hangs on and finds Mensah, swings in across the face of the 18-yard box. Kakari tries to shoot, and it goes over the top for a goal kick.
What about attempt from Martin Kakari, who today is not playing in that natural number 10 position. He's rather playing at the right-hand side of attack. And just look at that, about 4 Olympic players around him, but then still managed to find some space to shoot that. There's a player with so much skill, but it has lacked confidence even under their former head coach Abubakar Ouattara, and he'll be hoping that at least he can impress the coach heading into the new season.
Afrani returns the ball to the Olympics area. Esio is up against Esubonten. He had the last touch and Azabok have the advantage. Here is Osei Sibe, the Hazabo captain for this evening's fixture, Abdul Karim. He's under pressure from the Olympics attacker. Ali Mohammed. Hussein on the move. Very industrious player, but he's giving it away. Olympics of possession now. That should be a foul. Referee tries to play the advantage because Olympics still has possession. Here is Dapa. Great Olympics. Here is Christine Dapa. Jonah Aita's cross taken care of by the Phobians. Olympics still hang on to possession. Here is Jonah Aite. Swings one to the right side. Injury concerns for Hussein as the referee Teofilo Seche whistles for Hussein to be taken care of.
Contact there after he controlled that Hussein. He's been paired up front, with Frank Duku today. But then, due to his, mobile nature, sometimes he finds himself a bit more centrally and then also helping defensively.
They have a present Ghana Supporters Union. Not only do they go to national team matches, but wherever you need them, they will always show up. It's 10 minutes at the University of Ghana Stadium here in Legon. Olympics 0, Hearts 0. Good run from Bayfi Afrani. Now here is Martin Kakari. Takes on his marker. Clever play from Kakari. Tries to find Duku. Too much for Duku to get at the end of it.
A bit too much from Martin Kakari. We've spoken about his confidence, which is gradually beginning, to find him. But that was a good move. Just a little bit overhit. Frank Duku was just trying to time his run there. But there was absolutely nothing he could have done. And Great Olympics, they've been very, very, very tidy at the back this evening. They've been so disciplined, allowed Hartlepool just fewer touches in the box. And if they should keep it this way throughout the first half, it would be very, very disturbing for Didi Dramani's men.
Here's Solomon Ako. Tries to find Islam, but Ali withers the storm. Here's Islam. Osaisibe with a powerful header out. Abdul Karim can't control well. There's a foul. Mensah brings down Solomon Ako. Free kick, Great Olympics.
Yeah, and Solomon Ako is really tricky. You know, this evening he's been a very, very tough customer for Ransford Mensah to deal with. His movement on and off the ball has really, really created a lot of trouble for Accra Hearts of Oak this evening. And there's a sort of attackers or wingers sometimes you need on your side. Players who can win fouls, make something happen when things are being cagey. But then I think some injury concerns there for Accra Great Olympics.
Olympics have a tall order to deal with. They play in Zone 3 of the National Division 1 League in a zone that has got some former Premier League teams also seeking for Premier League qualification. Oko United is in that zone, don't forget. Recently relegated Accra Lions in that zone as well. Former FA Cup champions Nania FC are also in that zone, but Olympics are confident they might just get a ticket back to Premier League football in the upcoming season.
Qualification to the Premier League always feels like a birthright to every single Olympics fan. I wouldn't begrudge them at all.
And it's not going to come easy. There's true democracy being tipped by many to book their place. Olympics might just be forced to go for an early substitution. It's not looking good.
He's responding now, and the coach not really happy now. He might be forced into an early substitution over there. There's 15 minutes into this game.
Injury force substitution. Sule Adamu would not be happy with this early development. Now let's see what Olympics come up with. Ako's delivery. Ali Mohammed was first to arrive and head the ball away for a Great Olympics corner.
It was a dangerous ball into the box, and you could find the Olympics players with some sort of aggression trying to attack that one. It was pinpoint, from the boot of Ako into the box centrally for them to deal with.
Solomon Ako to take the free kick for Great Olympics. Ben Swanin. Hussein, in a desperate attempt to clear the ball, was unable to do it. Jonah Aite picks out Ivan Janim, but it's a goal kick for the Phobians.
Wasn't a bad attempt from Great Olympics. It's not really been, so smooth from Accra Hearts of Oak. We've seen them in the top four. We saw them when they played, in the President's Cup. We saw them in the Gamanche or Mocha ITP's Cup. It was so smooth. Today it looks a bit untidy. They are struggling to find grip. I don't know if it's due to the length of the grass, but then that's not how you'd always see a Masoud Dili Dramani team play. And today they've really struggled in the first 16 minutes, but then they'll be hoping to get back stronger.
Martin Kakari checks onto his left foot, looking for space, swings in across. Doku is lurking. Mensah controls and finds Duku. Afrani, now Befi. Kakari is getting onto the end of it. Lovely skill, he goes down, but there's no foul in it. There's a goal kick.
The referee was just within close proximity to spot that over there. A tight space for Martin Kakari, trying to use his trickery there to go past his marker, Ivan Ajaman. The referee with the right call.
So, confirmation of the substitution. Great Olympics have been forced to make the first change of this game.
Trying to get at the end of that, do doing his best to just shield that one out of play. And that's one of the characteristics about the Accra Hearts of Oak team. They could go short if they want to, and sometimes they have the ability to go long and find their wingers on the run as well. But then Great Olympics, kudos to them already. They've done a good job defensively trying to keep the Phobians at bay.
That's a push on his heel by Enoch Esubonten. Referee rightly spotted that infringement.
Yeah, a bit too aggressive there by Enoch Esubonten. See his hand just resting at the back of Augustus Esu.
Olympics trying to weave their way into the Azabok 16-yard box. Here is Jonah Aite. Now David Kobner, right-footed cross in. Esubonten gets it away, but Hussein gives it back to Olympics. Here is Samo Dapaeje. Afrane Mensah. 20 minutes, no goals at the University of Ghana. Lovely play from Abdul Karim. Here is Hussein, spots the run of Kakari. Kakari has got Bisu to confront, who just got introduced for Kusi, and the idea was good, but Esubonten was not arriving on time.
Yeah, good idea by Martin Kakari, who had to check onto his favorite left foot. But then again, that cross just landing very close to Do Edu, the Great Olympics goalkeeper. You could see the frustration from Duku, who made the run early on.
It's a bit such a ball meant for Duku. Duku has been a bit quiet in this opening 21 minutes. He was full of energy and brilliance when Hazebuk played in the top 4 and even in the President's Cup.
And perhaps because he enjoyed that partnership with Hamza Issa, who is actually also a striker, unlike Mohamed Hussein, who is more of a midfielder, so would want to retreat into midfield and allow him to work alone.
It was in the Bese Manchao More Charity Peace Cape that he announced his presence. Otuche was part of the team that played in the President's Cup. His deal was about to be negotiated by the time with Vision FC, but I tell you what, he seemed to have taken over the striking role at Hearts of Oak. The big question is, where does Hamza Isa fit into this setup?
You rightly said it, perhaps just right behind him or even beside him with that 4-4-2 flat like they're playing today. Hussein has been very, very mobile, so he's not offered that support for Frank Duku.
Islam against Esibe. He uses his strength to advantage. Esibe brings Islam Mohammed down. Referee whistles. Free kick, Great Olympics.
That's just the right call. Referee very close to the action there. Esibe failing to deal with that initial ball, and you could see his hands all around, you know, Islam Mohammed Barry, and it's just the good call.
Islam Mohammed Barry was brought into the Olympics team just this era under Sule Mohammed to lead the attack. He joined from a team called Untold Story in Isiakwa in the Eastern region. So probably he has an untold story for us to figure out this evening here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium.
That's a metaphor in that one, an untold story perhaps to even, you know, tell the Hearts of Oak fans, but that's quite dangerous for Hearts of Oak.
Bisiu to take the free kick. Anthony Bisiu. It might just be a left-footed swing from Bisiu, and it's gone horribly wrong.
The roar from the stands, from the Great Olympics fans, tells you, that just sums up that effort from Bisiu. Perhaps, you know, not what he had wanted. He just looked into the skies, you know, with so much displeasure after hitting that one.
Kelvin Osei-Sibe, Abdul Karim joined Hearts of Oak from Nations FC, having featured for Bechem United in the last couple of seasons before his move to Nations. He only played for Nations for just a season and snapped up by the Phobians. Shaib was trying to pick out Duku, but the Olympics goalkeeper Doa Tiso is not troubled.
The centre-back pairing of Great Olympics, Richard Bucci and then also Ivan Dajiman, they've really done a good job on Frank Duku. He's the central, you know, that arrowhead for Accra Hearts of Oak, and they know how, you know, swift he is as a striker, his movement of the ball as well. Yeah, that was that foul there on Martin Kakari, and he's really having a good day, Martin Kakari. Perhaps this game would be enough to just convince Moussoud Didi Dramani that he is really a good player. I can't remember when he moved from Asekem to Hearts of Oak a couple of seasons ago, but he's failed to nail a starting spot for himself.
Many saw him as the direct replacement for Salif Ibrahim, who left for Kosovo, but he's never lived up to it. Kakari.
Perhaps this might be his season. There again, you can see another Hearts of Oak player fouled in this one thing. They are making, you know, entry into the third half, but then it's been gradual for them, not as swift as they wanted to be. A couple of fouls, you know, and a couple of free kicks for them, and already they find themselves in a very, very advantageous position.
Free kick taken by Kakari. Gives away a throw into Olympics. Bayfi racing all the way back. Esibe wants to take care of matters, and Afrani gives away possession. Olympics have ideas of attacking, but here comes the Hearts of Oak's keeper. Esibe cleverly calms the situation down for the Phobians. finds Hussein. He's gone quiet in the last few minutes, but he's trying to thread that one through for Duku. He was not aware of that idea.
Again, a bit of a late movement from Frank Duku there. Couldn't spot that pass from Hussein on time. And that's a fraction late to get onto that one, but Hussein again a bit adventurous there with that pass and nearly finding the striker.
Mensah under pressure, goes to Xiaoyu. Isio controls well. That kick from Isibe seemed to have left something on the Olympics attacker Islam Mohamed Pari, and referee whistles for Pari to be attended to. It wasn't deliberate from Isibe, very close to that clearance, Islam.
I believe that outstretched foot of Isibe just caught Islam on the thigh, and just look at that again, just after even the thigh, but then close to the chin. And that was just reckless from Isibe. Just lifted his leg, too high after clearing that ball. Fortunate the referee just didn't get that one.
Hazavok new goalkeeper Solomon Agbasi, a Confederations Cup semi-finalist with Dreams FC 2 seasons ago, and this guy here is the goalkeeper expected to give competition to the #1 choice of the Black Stars, Benjamin Asari.
It takes a lot of confidence, to know that you would want to fight with Benjamin Asari for that #1 spot, especially when he's the safest pair of hands for the Black Stars. And I just think he believes he can.
Hazavok trying to turn the heat on Olympics.
The body check, from Martin Kakari, the in-swinging cross, but it was Mohamed Hussein trying to get his head onto that one.
Olympics in the middle, combining passes so well and leaving the Azabuk midfielders chasing shadows, but it's clearance from Mensah. Chance for Islam. Islam against Isibe. Resolute defending from Jose Isibe. Solomon Ako. Here is Augustus Isio. Haas will take possession. Here is Duku. Abdul Karim. The ball looked to have crossed the line. Good decision from the assistant referee.
Yeah, not crossed the line a bit. But then Abdul Karim trying to go for the nutmeg instead of just playing his teammate through. He worked hard today.
Just gone by was the CEO of Hoho United. They have a first Premier League game against Atsavok. He's here to just spy on the Phobians. Here is Baifi, sends in a cross, away by the Olympic centre-back Bochwe. Now here is Afrani. Good ball to Mensah. He wants to shoot from the distance, but Boche will take over for Olympics. Islam. Poor pass from the middle.
Teams are struggling to field grip, especially Great Olympics. They've not really been able to string 4 or 5 passes together since the start of this game. They've resorted to the long balls, but that Heart of Oak have also been able to deal with everything that has been thrown at them.
Here comes Kakari, who swing from the left to the right. Chance for Duku. He turns and finds Esubontin. That was a big chance for the Phobians.
That was just what they needed to just bring life back into, you know, that fans. But then it all started that brilliant pass from Martin Kakari, who threaded through that, you know, Olympics defense, and Duku unselfishly lays it onto the part of his teammate who was just shoot. That would in trouble Great Olympics for now.
Bayfi. Afrani. Bayfi's cross blocked again. Throwing Olympics to defend.
We need to put some pressure on the Great Olympics defense. Accra Heart of Oak.
Abdul Karim with a teasing ball in, but it will trouble Great Olympics.
And I just think that that's what Masoud Didi Dramani would want to see. Yeah, they would show or give respect to Great Olympics, but then they would also want to go at them because they know they are Premier League side. They know they've beaten Kumasi Asante Kotoko long ago. They've beaten teams like Heart of Lions. They played out a 2-2 draw against BBL Gold Stars in the top 4, and those were top-notch performance by Accra Heart of Oak. And you know, to have a team like Great Olympics disturb them and, you know, keep them at bay for close to 40 minutes tells you that it's not what the coach wants to see. It's really, really scruffy, if I should put, from the Phobians.
Here is Osese stepping forward and looking for options. He finds Abdul Karim. The former Accra Lions man finds Mensah. Here is Hussein, beautiful skill. He's got Kakari going backwards. Coming from offside position.
Yeah, right from the red zone. And credit to the Great Olympics back line, you know, and just look at that. Just moved from that offside position before receiving the ball, and he's really worked so hard, but then he's not been able to come in from Duku. We've seen from Duku a bit more isolated up front and not getting that needed support he would. But Hussein is a number 10, and that's what he's been asked to do today. He's been given the license to roam all over the pitch. He's done that, but then it's not really been productive as we speak.
Great Olympics, who opened their Division League campaign with a date against fellow former Premier League side Inter Allies, with the Phobians beginning their campaign with a date against newly promoted Hoho United FC. These games, coupled with the ones played in top 4, the President's Cup, the Gbese Manche More Charity Peace Cup game, must have given Didi Dramani a fair idea of the Arsenal is going to deploy when the campaign starts early next week.
Most definitely, this is an entire new 11, with the exception of a couple of players that consistently played. You know, I think it's just a new...
The Phobians with a chance, but it's an awkward clearance from Boche and goalkeeper Doa Tiso. will step up to the occasion.
Yeah, still speaking about Accra Hearts of Oak, you know, the sort of materials Masoud Didi Dramani has at his disposal. You had Abdul Karim not starting most of the games they played. Upon Friday, yeah, he was a starter, but then I think he's knew that position. Enoch Esubonte wasn't really an out-and-out striker or starter for the team. Martin Kakari himself has seen time on the bench, so the
Ghazali screaming at Mensah. He needs to be careful.
yeah, he's been reckless, you know, especially whenever he's come toe-to-toe with Solomon Ako at the left-hand side of the Accra Hearts of Oak defense. Ako is quite tricky, and you know he is a very good player. He showed that all evening.
Augustus Osio to take the free kick. Bends one to the far post. Shayoub stays in his post. Headed away by Bayfi. And Abdul Karim will run to the end of it. Tries to put one through for Esubontain. Back to Abdul Karim. Now they can break away from the left-hand side, and Mensah to Kakari. Afrani. Other fans have enjoyed how the team has played under Didi Dramani, describing their players, the Didi ball. Here is Esubontain from the pass of Bayfi, the former Wafa man, back to Bayfi. Bayfi was on loan at Dreams FC last season, but the Phobians recalled him and allowed Suraj to go on a permanent deal with the Still Believe boys. Here is Abdul Karim. Now Mensah. Kakari just out to control that ball. Bayfi through ball, lovely turn from Esubontain, but that's some good defending from BCU. Now Bayfi can send a decent cross. Again, it's cleared this time by Bochwe. Esibe. It's Olympics on the offensive. Osei Esibe nearly gifted the ball to Islam Mohammed, but the flag was up against Olympics for offside. It was Islam in that position.
Sibe nearly a suspect over there, and just a fraction offside. The good call by the assistant referee to call that, and now it looks like Hearts of Oak are really finding the grip they missed during the first 30 or 35 minutes.
Good run from Esubontain, stopped in his tracks. Olympics have barely made any dangerous incursions into the Phobian territory in the opening 40 minutes. Karim. Boachi goes down. Bayfi will be lucky not to get a yellow card. Samuel Boachi joined from Inter Allies. He was actually captain for Inter Allies in last season's Division 1 league, and Olympics snapped him up even before the start of this new season.
Yeah, with that role and then that jersey number comes lots of responsibilities for him. You know, donning the number 10 jersey right after signing for a huge club like Great Olympics tells you that, you know, he is a quality player, and they might be looking up to him for him to, you know, lead this club. Awako used to be there. He's no more there.
Here is Martin Kakari for Hearts of Oak, but the final delivery letting him down as a clearance away by Ejanim.
He should be impressed with what Kakari is just adding, the kind of bite he's adding to the Hearts of Oak attack. Already he's, you know, putting a couple of balls through, and they've been dangerous balls for Great Olympics.
Duku unhappy with the decision of the referee, but it was always going to be against him.
Yeah, of course, and that's Abdul Karim again, just, you know, pulling the shirt on his marker there. Really warmed themselves up into this game. It's quite evident how they're moving the ball around swiftly and smoothly, something they failed to do when the game started.
Ali is looking for Mensah to come to his rescue. Boachi goes down, no foul. Here is Abdul Karim, but the Olympics attacker stays down. Kakari trying a cheeky back heel. Boche gives the ball away. Here is Duku. Bisu is tracking back. Duku's ball is straight to Atiso. But Olympics have a player down. Is Samuel Boachi, the former Interlice captain.
And then a series of errors over there, allowing Duku to just break free, you know, away from two Red Olympics defenders. And that's what he's been searching for all game. He's grown frustrated, but then you can see that, just look at that, you know, look on his face tells you how frustrated he's been. But it was a good chance. It was nothing. It came from nothing at all. He just had to battle, you know, two defenders to win that ball and just dial that one on target. Quite ambitious from the Hearts of Oak striker.
Hearts of Oak with a new look, technical setup. Majority of them former employees of the arrivals in Kumasi. They have Didi, who coached Kotoko to Premier League success. Goalkeepers trainer Najau Isa. He's been part of the Kotoko family in the last 2 seasons. And former assistant coach Abdullah Ghazali, who last season coached Basiki Holy Stars, decided to journey to the capital and join the Rainbow Lads. Abdul Karim is looking for Kakari. Coolly collected by Ako. Here's Augustus Esio. Ivan Ajanim gets it away. Here is Islam. Now Bisiu.
Quality has been glaring since the start of this game. Accra Hearts of Oak, they've really exerted some force. You know, they've only lacked in the attacking third, decision making whenever they advance, but then they've really been convincing whenever they're in possession.
We're doing 2 minutes of additional time. It's 45 minutes already under the lights at the University of Ghana Stadium here in Legon, Accra. It's the two city rivals, Olympics and us, drawing goalless. Isubontin is looking for Hussein, but ball is cleverly cleared away by Bochwe. Poor touch from Boache. That's a heavy shove from Isubontin, and he says, I just went with my shoulder, but referee doesn't see any of that. Jonah Ite wins the foul for Olympics.
Yeah, a bit more combative there from Isubontin. That's one of the players who, you know, was a French player last season.
He was nearly sold.
Nearly sold, and gradually it looks like he's finding his feet under Asud Didi Dramani.
Came to us with a lot of promise under the recommendations of Samuel Boadu, but I tell you what, Isubontin has not lived up to it since joining Hearts of Oak. Two additional minutes already done here in Legon. Referee Theophilus Seche might just be wrapping it up for the first half of this game. Here is Hussein looking for Kakari. There's a clearance away by David Corbiner. Ransford Mensah's throwing straight to Atiso, and that's the whistle to end the first half of this 2025 Democracy Cup between two city rivals in the capital, Hearts of Oak and Olympics. Not so much goal scoring opportunities created, but it's been an interesting fixture we've witnessed in the opening 45 minutes. Half-time at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, 2025 Democracy Cup. Goalless between Hearts of Oak and Olympics.
University of Ghana Sports Stadium in Legon. What a first 45 minutes. Both sides have showed that yes, indeed, they are at loggerheads. They have showed the intensity in the first 45 minutes. And yes, chances have been created both sides. But Accra Hearts of Oak seem to have the edge based on the sharpness of their men up front. But Olympics has also been wonderful in defense, clearing everything that came their way in the first 45 minutes. It's halftime here at the Accra Sports Stadium, and Blackgate and Nanedu have joined me. Blackgate, first 45 minutes, they did go the way you expected.
Absolutely, because I told you I was expecting an end-to-end stuff here. For Hearts of Oak, they tried to play their normal games in the faces of Great Olympics. But Great Olympics pick a clue from watching Hearts of Oak played against Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the last game of the Ghana Top 4 competition. And what the Olympics did, that worked to perfection for Kosula Adamu's team, was not to allow Hearts of Oak to play their normal game in central midfield. He loaded the midfield. He started the game with a 3-5-2 formation. Yeah. He never changed his tactics. He choked the midfield and made sure that they overcrowded the midfield. If you look at Hearts of Oak, they tried to play on the left flank where Martin Kakari was operating from. In terms of the right flank in Enoch Esubonting, he was staff of decent services. And then if you look at what Great Olympics did, they tried to play through their top marksman in Islam Muhammad. He basically gave Kevin Ose-Asibe and then Ali Muhammad a tough game in that first 45 minutes. But for Hearts of Oak, if they are to break down this stubborn Great Olympics team, then they will have to do something extraordinary to be able to carve them open at premium.
I see. Okay. First 45 minutes has gone. Nanedu, you predicted a slim or a slender lead for Accra Great Olympics, but I'm sure you've been impressed with what you've seen so far from Olympics.
I think Olympics is doing well. You know, I predicted a first half win for Olympics, but I think they've done their best, especially through the right side of their team, the right back. They are working hard, trying to throw men more forward for the Olympics team. When you look at the House of Folk team, they want to play the ball through the middle. That is why Olympics team has overcrowded that place. So it's making things difficult for House of Folk to handle Olympics in that middle. And that is one thing that is working for them. Frank Duku is not getting that supplies that he needs from the midfield because of the way Olympics is operating in the midfield. I think in the second half, he should throw more wingers into the game. Try to cross the ball into the 18-yard box. That is where you can get the strength out from players like Frank Duku. So far, I'm impressed with what I've been seeing from Olympics. For you to hold on to House of Folk in the first 45 minutes, I'm happy for them.
Well, it's interesting. There's a lot of activity. There's a lot of fans here. Right behind us, we see Nat Brew also getting ready to perform for the fans out here. But second 45 is coming up. What will be the expectation? Are you expecting any significant change in the build-up of Accra Hearts of Oak?
Absolutely. In terms of their approach, they started in a 4-4-2 formation. They have Hamza Issa on the bench, and if Hamza Issa is supposed to come onto the pitch, then it will add an extra bite for Hearts of Oak in terms of what they will do. But the most important thing is in that first 45 minutes, Olympics were able to deal with whatever Hearts of Oak has thrown to them, and Frank Duku has been left redundant. It was only Martin Kakari that was the most exciting player for the Phobians in them. For Godidi Dramani, he will need to take off one of his wingers and try to play a typical 4-3-3 formation to be able to have Hamza Issa partner Frank Duku on top, because whatever they've done in that first half, Olympics had perfect answers to that.
All right, like I told you earlier on, it's fun and excitement. Behind us, you can see the dancers from Nat Bruce camp. So what we're going to do is that we don't want to leave you viewers out of the fun. We will switch over to what's happening on the field of play. Let's take a look at the legend himself as he performs.
Hello, welcome back for second half commentary of this 2025 Democracy Cup Hearts of Oak and Olympics did not produce any goals in the first half. Back from recess, Olympics yet to make changes to the team that went out on a break. The Phobians keeping up with the same starting lineup that began the game. Hearts of Oak were slightly the better of the two sides in the first half. Olympics failed to create any decent chances and barely troubled goalkeeper Shoaib. And back from recess is Olympics, who will get us underway for second half action here at the University of Ghana Stadium in Legon.
Yeah, great Olympics. They really defended gallantly throughout the first 45, and Accra perhaps were the better side, but then the score line says otherwise.
Here we go for second half. Here is Bisiu gifting the Phobians with the first throw-in of the evening here in the second half. For Olympics coach Sule Adamu, it will be a major statement following his appointment as Olympic coach from Oko United last season if he wins this Democracy Cup. Amankwa Befi, that was a rash challenge on the Olympics midfielder.
Yeah, and that was on Christian Dapa and Amankwa Befi.
Boche's delivery. Flicked on by Boache. But Mensah, that's a poor touch from Mensah. Good play from Solomon Ako. Down the right side. Here is Islam. Back to Ako. Islam gives the ball away. The former Dambot player seems to have risen to the point where he's made the Azabok left back position a no-go area for any of the charges in the setup.
Yeah, and I think he also won the hearts of, the Hearts of Oak faithfuls with those good whips. As far as dead ball situations are concerned, he's quite an expert with free kicks.
Here is Boche, nearly got himself into trouble. Now Ali, he was fouled by the former Intala's captain Boache.
Mohamed Ali knew he was just going to win that ball, and Boache a bit, aggressive there. That arm shown extended towards the face of Mohamed Ali. And Great Olympics, I believe they just start with this second half with renewed energy.
Here is Befi, it's a good ball to Kakari, down in the box for the Phobians. He wants support and Befi provides him support, but Befi's whip unable to beat the Olympics back line. Here is Esibe again. Goes low to Kakari. Kills the ball in and has a have a corner. Final touch on the ball coming from Ivan Ejanim.
And those were some good series of play from Accra Hearts of Oak. And just look at that Kakari with the outside of his boots, to just hit that one into space. But then that was good defending by Great Olympics.
Kakari with the corner for Hearts of Oak. Swings one in, headed away by Boche. Has of a chance, that is cleared away again by Ivan Ejanim. The Phobians piling pressure in the second half. Hussein. Esibe. Kakari, beautiful skill. A chance to shoot. Esibe shoots. Atiso couldn't deal with it the first time, but he's made amends.
That lazy run from Martin Kakari there. What a player he's been this evening. And just look at that. The bend on the ball. And then just too close to the goalkeeper. Edu.
Duku on the run. Good defending from Bochwe. Bochwe was with the Olympics team last season who failed to book their Premier League ticket. Here is Duku up against Bochwe, and Atiso is up for it.
Clever defended by Great Olympics. Richard Bochwe putting his body on the line, obstructed from Duku from making that clear run to get onto the end of that ball. They've been smart with their defending.
Kakari, he's been lively in the opening stages of the second half. He tries to squeeze one through those legs in the Olympics back line. Now, Islam on the right side. He picks up Solomon Ako, who switches delightfully to the left-hand side. Jonah Aite, Boache, Kobna. It's a good ball on the right side. And Ako is stopped in his tracks by Mensah. Now Abdul Karim. He can break away from the middle now. Kakari up against the Siu. Afrani, former Kim Faisal midfielder, second season with the Phobians. He's been troubled by injuries. Hopefully he gets an injury-free season to prove his worth in this setup. Kakari to Afrani. Kiss the ball away. Osei Sibe. Composure and confidence at his best. Not the best of passes from Abdul Karim as BCU will not allow Amanko Abefi to take advantage. Clever play from Great Olympics. This is delightful to watch. There's Aite. Now Boache up against Esibe. Good tackle, but Esibe over elaborates and gives the ball away.
For a second, he thought he was going to get himself a free kick there. And two players on the turf currently. They're really lively. Accra had to walk through Martin Kakari in the first 7 minutes of the second half. Still not shown any sort of conviction in the final third.
Another free kick for Great Olympics. This time it claims innocence, but Olympics would like to take advantage of it.
And that's the incident again. Sibe for a second had his hands around Jonah Ite, pulling him to the ground.
Samuel Boache, the former Inter-Allies player, to take the free kick. He wanted by some Premier League team, but decided to opt for Great Olympics. Olympics have free kick. Watch it to the far post. Headed away by the lanky Afrani. Isbontin uses his space to advantage. Here is the former Wafa speedster. Swings one to right, is aiming at Kakari. And Kakari nearly lost it to Boache. He does want to keep the ball. Good play from Kakari. But the final match just can't go through. Here in Mensah. He can shoot from his angle. He shoots and is going disappointingly out for a goal kick.
Chances are going again for Accra Harbour. They are creating all the chances. Martin Kakari has been in the thick of affairs, but this time Ransford Mensah right at the edge of the box. It's still that one, and with ability to hit those balls, from dead ball situation, he should just be directing this one target. And Atiso not put to work on that occasion. And you need to direct the balls on Atiso. You need to make feel your presence. And what has failed to do. Just one shot on target in the second half, and it came through Kakari.
Here is Islam to Akko. Promising move from Great Olympics. Cross I'm seeing. Watch is lurking. Controls the ball. He's got bare feet behind him. Kill for nimble footers. Swings one. No problems for Shoaib.
And everyone went missing for a second in the box for Great Olympics.
BCU beginning to find an antidote to the tricks of Kakari. Jenim nearly giving the ball away, but he shows his strength and intelligence. Lovely play from Great Olympics.
Confidence is skyrocketing now in Great Olympics because it looks level now, but then that was that incident again. Ivan Ajiman just doing it all on his own. 3 heart-of-oak players and just manages to stay composed.
Akko. Here Christian Dapa. Now BCU. He plays Samuel Kusi and is not giving a bad account of himself. The drive from Samuel Boade blocked by the eventual offside against Islam Mohammed Bari.
He's enjoying that physical contest. Islam, he's come up a couple of times against SCB and then also Ali Mohammed. Really enjoyed it. This time from an offside position, trying to heckle the defender.
Hatsaboka coming up with 2 substitutions. Double switch for the Phobians upon Afrane. So Kwesi Asma comes in for Mohamed Hussein, and upon Afrane's place is taken by the enterprising George Paku. Paku joined from Accra Lions and it's been a delight to watch since his arrival. He's played a pivotal role for the Phobians in recent successes. Esibe gives the ball away. Here is Islam. But Asma, highly called up to duty. Ali. Amankwabe's ability to play as a utility, his dexterity and his understanding of the game is something that Didi Dramani will count on going into the new season.
He's a coach who loves, the dynamism of the game. He's quite malleable with the setup all the time.
Here is Bayfi trying to thread one for Kakari. Now Bayfi. Asma. Kelvin Esibe. His only problem has been over-elaborating and sometimes indecision on his part. But beyond that, he's an exceptional player on any day.
Yes, Kelvin Esibe. Remember, that crunch game when they visited Kumasi Santi Kotoko last season, and he was by far the best player until he put a foot wrong in the dynamics of that game, and that has been his weakness as a player. But then that earlier incident there between Ivan Ajiman and then also Duku just colliding. Let's talk about Paco, who just came on. He was such a delight to watch in that game against Heart of Lions a couple of weeks ago, and you can only imagine how he's going to, bond with someone like Martin Kakari.
Here's Estebantin's cross. Befi arrives, but he can't go for the first time effort, and decision goes in favor of Great Olympics and Bayfi stays down.
Yeah.
Here's a Kotoko diehard fan, a member of the Kotoko Communications team, Nidako, at the stadium to root for Great Olympics.
He's signaling a yellow card to be shown to Bayfi, you know, for simulation there, but that was that earlier incident here, not enough of it, you know, for a penalty, but then Bayfi left in some pain there after colliding with the defender Ivan Ajimane. You talk about how, you know, versatile he is as a player, sometimes playing as a wing back, sometimes playing as a right back, sometimes playing as a right winger, and that's the sort of, you know, dynamism he's added to his game. And we've also spoken about Didi Dramani and his system, playing as with a 3-back system in one game. The next game he introduces the 4-back, the next time is the 4-4-2, the 4-2-3-1, and these players are buying into the concept, and it's even making it easier for him to change as, you know, and when he wants to, making it so easy for him.
Minutes under the lights at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium in Legon. Olympics and Hearts yet to score. Bisiu. But Bayfi, good ball to Paco. The former Accra Lions midfielder just can't keep the ball in.
He does look sharp, Paco. Trying to warm himself into the game. We saw how both teams struggled in the first 30 minutes trying to find grip until they were able to massage very well, you know, the turf and just find the right rhythm. And he just needs to do extra sprints, extra work, just to be at the same level with his teammates.
Free kick, foul committed by Christian Dapa, who joined from Tudu Mighty Jets before the start of the season. These days, Mighty Jets are languishing in the second division. Mohamed Mensah's cross straight to the Olympics goalkeeper. He does not handle it first time. He struggled to deal with the deliveries on first-time basis.
You wouldn't say that the pitch is slippery or soggy. It's not being wet. You know, these are in wet conditions, but Atiso has really struggled with the first balls, and that's something Hearts of Oak should really keep an eye on. They need to send the balls to him. They need to fire shots at him. They need to put him to work. He's virtually had a field day, you know, for most part of the game.
Hearts of Oak coming up. Emmanuel Amankwa takes the place of Yamankwa Bayfi.
I like the placement there. Amankwa Bayfi, after, you know, colliding with Ivan Ajimane a couple of minutes ago, seems to have felt something in his elbow.
Here is Islam, but the flag is up for offside against Islam.
Very good job at the back, Hearts of Oak. They've had a chunk of possession, but then they've also kept an eye on the fast breaks by Great Olympics, especially with Islam leading the lines for them. Really done a good job at Sibe and also Muhammad Ali.
Esibe. Here is Asma. Hearts of Oak has seen a lot of the balls, but nothing productive yet. That's a very cynical challenge on Paku by the Great Olympics midfielder David Kobna.
Yeah, quite clumsy, very dangerous there from Paco. Just look at that. A little bit late, slid in the turf before just making contact with Paco.
Abdul Karim. He used to play as right back for Nations last season. Amanko's ball. That's a poor effort. Poor effort from Asma. Former Hearts of Oak midfielder Benjamin Afutu watching from the stands. And coincidentally, the last time Hearts of Oak beat Olympics, Afutu scored in that game.
A core part of that team that won the league, but then that was just disappointing from Kwesi Asma.
Now Olympics will have their turn to make some changes. Solomon Ako. He's had a very decent game on the right wing. Joined Olympics from Zelina, Africa just this season. So David Sewonu replaces Jonah Ayite. And Solomon Aku also makes way.
There's a great Olympics player on the turf currently. Looks like a slow.
Caleb Amankwa, former Hearts of Oak defender. He also played for Aduana before in the top flight. Part of that West African Football Academy generation that included the likes of Majida Shimeru, Gideon Waja, Mohamed Al Hassan, Razaka Balora, and the likes. Amankwa was actually their junior, but he rose through the ranks and got transferred later on. Cobner's delivery. Asma. It's a good ball, but Bisiu trying to win the ball off Kakari, whose work rate has been very impressive in the second half. Too much on that ball for Abdul Karim. Now Olympics on the move. Here is Inti. He's up against Ali Mohammed. Inti to Sewonu. Sewonu's drive headed down by Esibe. Great reading of the game by the right back Augustus Esio.
It's just what you need sometimes to stop danger. When it's just, you know, looming large, and that's what he just did over there. Hearts of Oak would need to be very, very careful. They are yet to score in the game, and they are throwing more men forward in an attempt to get the first goal, and that's leaving spaces behind for Great Olympics to attack it. They've also been very, very quick with the breakaways.
Karim was not watching, but Esibe should have been precise enough. Now Emmanuel Amankwa, he's got Kakari on his right. He finds Kakari, he goes past BCU. Kakari with a right-footed cross. Here is Asma, chance for Azabo. Paku goes past his marker, tries to dink one to Esubontin. That's the drive, and it's the opening goal. The Phobians are up by 1 goal. Asma breaks the deadlock for the Phobians on the 17th-minute mark of the game. Hatsaboka up by 1 goal to nil in the 2025 Democracy Cup. They've been the dominant of the two sides in terms of possession in the second half, and they rightly deserve to be on top at this point in the game. Hatsaboka 1, Olympics 0.
Rightly deserved for the Phobians, but then that error and that blood will be there on the hands of Atiso, though, who just allowed that one to sneak past his fingers into the post, but then take nothing away from Hatsaboka. They've been the most brilliant side. They've been the best side in the second half, or even the entirety of the game. But then Kakari has been brilliant. Just look at that, selflessly lays down that one into the box, and then Paku recovers again. But then at this point, it was just not danger for them until Paku had to head that one down onto the path of Asma, who just hit that one with the half volley, and Atiso, the culprit here.
That's a blunder, but the big question is, did the bounce of the ball on the turf take anything away from the goalkeeper's effort to grab the ball? Hatsaboka would not mind. They have their opening goal. Hearts 1, Olympics 0. Atiso's anticipation was not for the ball to bounce before hitting the back of the net, but yellow card flashed to Great Olympics. Christian Dapa.
Yeah, he's been boisterous, Dapa.
Very, very.
Working sharp in midfield for Great Olympics. But you spoke about the ball bouncing, and yeah, sometimes it makes it difficult for the goalkeeper, but I think Atiso should be doing better. You know, he had that right, you know, within reach. He could have just, you know, pummeled that away from danger, and unfortunately trying to grab that made it even more difficult for him.
Emmanuel Amankwa, one of the versatile boys in this Hatsaboka team, plays as a right back and left back, and here is Kakari again with some magical touch. Lovely pass. Asma slips and falls, and Olympics will take up matters. Esibe first in the air. Boachi stopped by Amankwa right before referee Teofilo Secher. Free kick.
And this is a time of the game where you wouldn't want to, you know, take your eye off the game, not even for a second over there, and it's getting even more hostile between these two sides, especially Accra Hatsaboka just took the lead. You know they would want to win, but then they would have to get a win the hard way, especially against Great Olympics.
Here is Kakari again, putting up a man of the match performance from this right wing. It's Asma with a cutback, but Olympics will not be caught ball watching for the second time.
Down the stretch, that's where you need your best players to show their quality, and Kakari just making things work for Accra Hatsaboka. Whenever he's on the ball, you could sense danger. Whenever he's on the ball, you could feel the Hatsaboka are just going to get something done over here.
Hatsaboka coming up with 2 more substitutions. Hamza Isa likely to join the fray. He takes the place of Duku, who has been very quiet this evening, comparing this evening's performance to what he's exhibited in the previous games.
He was quiet.
Paku's corner, headed away by Botre. Boache. Someone who beaten to it by Amankwa. Here is Abdul Karim. Now Henry Boateng. Hamza Issa. The lead striker for the Phobians under coach Ouattara last season. Yet to hit his form in the preseason games the Phobians have played so far. Amankwa's throw-in. Esubontin tries a spectacular, but it's gone wrong for a goal kick to Olympics.
Wouldn't have allowed that one to beat him for the second time in this game, but then Hearts of Oak, they're trying to stretch the back line of Great Olympics. They are not using the channel often. They're playing balls to their wingers, making the fullbacks run. They're growing tired now, and it looks likely they could even get a second with the way they are pressing very, very hard.
Now Olympics will equally come up with substitutions of their own as Didi Dramani throws more men in to consolidate their lead. Olympics will do the catch-up as they chill the Phobians. Al Hassan, he's lost possession. Should have been Muhammad Ali. Now, with some 14 more minutes to play, the big question is, can Olympics find the equalizer, or Didi Dramani will win another silverware for the Phobians?
It looks likely now with the Phobians with a 1-0 lead now. They've been in firm control of this game. They've dominated every single quarter. You know, they've been so good at with Great Olympics. If they would really want to get a win over their city rivals, they would really need to dig deep as well.
Good run, Olympics. Now BC was doing the chase, and someone who wants to get on shows great strength and desire. That's what to hang on to possession. Good touch from Paco, but the referee whistles for the initial foul on BCU.
Yeah, that was a bit late from the referee. And BCU, he's also really played his part in this game for Great Olympics.
Olympics nearly grabbing the equalizer. Impressive play from Great Olympics. That drive from Osafuenchi nearly troubled Shoaib.
Quick transition of the ball, and just look at that, just on the 10, hitting that one fiercely. Shoaib not taking chances.
Corner for Great Olympics. The Dade boys are trailing the Phobians, and the corner comes to the near post. Here's Osafuenchi, and Paco takes over for the Phobians. Throwing. For Hearts of Oak's Cobness effort could only go past for a throw-in.
And Great Olympics, they've not really been, impressive with their set pieces. They had a couple of them in the first half, some free kicks and corner kicks as well, but nothing impressive from the Dade boys. Because Hearts of Oak has made it very difficult for them, to even create anything meaningful from open play, and these are the things you need to resort to, especially going into a league season where sometimes away games will be so difficult for you, especially with the away or home fans also, against you. You just need to make good use of these set pieces, and they've just failed to do that. But then, what about that for a strike again? Just 110, and he had just wanted on his mind, just get that ball on target. But Schweib with that good reflexive save over there.
Hatzavok will be delighted to have 3 goalkeepers they can rely on during the course of the season. They brought in Agbasi, who last played for Dreams 2 seasons ago, and Ghana's current #1 goalkeeper in their fold as well. Kobna. Here is Osafo Ntwi. Had an earlier effort parried by the Hatzavok goalie. Boche, there was a push on Boche by Hamza. He's going to get a yellow card for that. Referee was right there.
Yeah. Hamza, it's just a shame his first real reaction in the game has to be his name in the books of the referee, but he just had to take one for the team with just about 9 minutes to end proceedings. He just wasn't also going to just watch aloof for that, to turn into a big chance for Great Olympics.
Olympics. Now they have a free kick. Quite a distance. Kobna is there. Augustus Esio is also there. He goes to the left and finds Bisiu. Bisiu's cross headed down by Paku. That touch from Kobna goes straight to Paku, but Bisiu wins it. Sewonu gives it away. Osesibe clears it only as far as Kobna. He finds Boche. We're into the last 8 minutes of the game. Boche will go up to the right-hand side. He's aiming at Inti. Lovely skill from Inti to go past 2 Hatzavok players, but he just fell down. Wanted the referee's whistle for a foul. Olympics bench reacts, thinking it should have been to the advantage.
Yeah, that's what they are thinking, but I think I'll go with the referee's decision there. But another simulation there. He's just fortunate not to have gone into the books of the rest. It's getting more hostile and even more combative between these two sides.
This should be a yellow card. Augustus Esio, needless, reckless on the part of Esio on the young chap.
Yeah, and it was the first touch to just move away, from the player Henry Boateng, with a lovely first touch, and it makes the work so easy for him, and Esio would just have to, just pull him back to deny him any chance of creating another big scoring opportunity for Hatzavok.
'83 minutes. Hearts leading Olympics 1-0. Mensah all the way back to Schweib. Esibe, Amankwa, Boche gives it away to Paku. Esubontin, he's been moving from the right wing to the left wing, and he's been very lively throughout the game this evening.
He's tired as well. He's not showing any signs of tiredness at all. He's worked so hard, attacking and defending, helping his fullbacks as well with their defensive duties, and that's what you expect from your players. Sometimes during pre-season, you just want to see that full fitness, and you can count on them when the tougher season starts, and Isubonte is just giving that to his head coach.
It's getting a bit physical between Asma and Isio.
Yeah, Asma believes that the last touch had come off Isio, and I think that should have been a corner. Let's see both of them just sliding into the advertising board.
Paku. Isubonte. Here is Asma, the goal scorer. The idea was good, but the delivery not good enough.
The players getting tired, and you just can't believe that this, you know, as a preseason competitive friendly game between these two sides, especially when the players, you know, start showing signs of tiredness. We just spoke about Esubonte showing no signs of tiredness, but then other players really showing it. And if you're a Hearts of Oak fan, you just be looking at this team and you be thinking, is this a team that can challenge for the league title? Is this a team that can get us our first league title since Samuel Boyd won it for us in 2021? And I believe perhaps the signs are clear for you to see, you know, from the President's Cup, you know, to the Homo Charity Peace Cup, to the top four where they were flawless, they were impeccable in their games, you know, and then to this game, the signs are clear. If you're a Hearts of Oak fan, you just could cross your fingers and just hope that, you know, these players will stay fit throughout the season, because the signs are so bright. For Great Olympics, they've not also been bad. They've given a good account of themselves, but then I think in Zone 3 in Division 1, the night's always tough over there. You have Accra Lions, you have Nanya, you have Golden Cake. You can mention the teams. It goes on and on and on.
Golden Cake were finalists in the FA Cup.
Exactly, and that's why losing their head coach, there's a new man at the helm. They've beefed up the squad, and it always gets tougher every season.
Went to the final 3 minutes. Olympics trail the. Lovely skill from David Kobna, but Azabo could take over possession. That's Henry Kokubwatson, the 17-year-old. The Phobians are hopeful that he's going to light up the Premier League when the season begins.
He's just not happy with that decision from Harry. He thought he could have done better, at least, you know, trying to wind down the clock. You just make the right decisions. You just don't go reckless, and that's what he just did over there.
It's a time in the game where game management will be very crucial for Hearts of Oak. With some 2 more minutes to wrap up, Didi will be hoping they don't drop their guard.
Yeah, of course, especially if these players watch the Black Stars play yesterday against Chad. There's quite a lot of lessons to learn from that. You never lower your guard. You never, you know, lose concentration at this time. There's a time you need to show that mental fortitude. You need to prove that you are focused throughout the game, and we've seen Hearts drop points in the league through things like this.
Boche, a clearance that came under pressure from Isubonte. Esibe Amankwa. Isubonte was always in that offside trap.
you know, the decision to go for it will pay off. At least he's wasted about 10-15 seconds over there trying to just win that ball when he knows definitely that he's in an offside position. That's what you do. It's part of it. Sometimes you just need to wind down the clock, and that's what Esubontin did there.
Esubontin. Here is Paco. The inclusion of Paco, Asma, have brought some stability in the Azabok midfield and some creativity as well. Here is Hamza Issa. Now I can agree with you that he's not been sharp.
Well, he's lacked it, but you know, Hearts of Oak, they've been so convincing, you know, and just look at Hamza Issa over there, caught between two walls over there, not knowing to hit that one right away or just, you know, take a touch and then wait for the approaching teammate. But regardless, he's still a good striker. We saw the goal he scored against Heart of Lions a couple of weeks ago. He is a good striker.
Sewonu with a cross to the far post, looking for Inti. There's a handball against Inti, but the ball looked to have traveled outside before he handled it.
It's still football. It's allowed sometimes for players to act smart as if the referee is not watching. But
and the Hazleburg left back Ransford Mensah, the former Dambot FC player, has gone down injured. It's not looking good for him.
As much as you would want your players to be at, you know, a certain fitness level, you'd also sometimes risk losing them to injury even before the season starts. We've seen players pick up.
That's the new boy, 17-year-old, who joined Hazleburg from Grace Sporting Club, signed on a 3-year deal, and Hazleburg fans say the rest of the Premier League teams should look forward to his exploits in the new season.
The last time it was George Parker, and now another 17-year-old boy. It's a good job they're doing, you know, building a team for a future, not just for now. And George Parker himself has been great.
And that gives you an idea of who is in their dugout. A youth developer from Right to Dream, Masoud Didi Dramani, his track record.
He's not just about winning, but then also building a formidable team for the future. He's known for that. There's a coach who's had stints with the national deaf team,
as well as the Black Maidens as well.
Exactly. So he's quite versatile in his area. And, you know, player development is one of his, you know, strength as a coach.
One to 2 minutes of additional 5 minutes. Here's Mumuni, Kobna, Esio. He wants to send in a cross. It's a teasing one, and Esibe rises to the occasion. Inti, Esio, Kobna, into the area of the forbies. Osafwenchi unable to control well. He's got it. Bissiu. It's a good cross from Bissiu, and someone should be directing his header really well. This should have been the equalizer for Great Olympics.
And the ball perfectly worked into the box. The finishing, the only thing letting them down, but it's crossed into the box, and no one at all around Sewon, allowing him freedom and space to just lead and get his head on that one.
Osei Sibe. The 17-year-old goes down from the charge of Augustus Esio.
Or like wrestling the rugby challenge by Esio, just, you know, shrugging him down. He's been lively, Henry Boate.
Atisa will be looking back at that goal and will be thinking, could I have done better? Was it a bounce? Ahmad gives away possession. Now Mohamed Yusuf Mouni. He manages to win a throw-in for Olympics. We're in the final seconds of this game. Hazleburg seconds away from clinching their second silverware in preseason. Shaib is out to meet the delivery from Bisiu, and this should be it.
Yeah, at this point, if you're a great Olympics fan, if you're in the technical dugout, as you know, it is just done and dusted for you. They fought gallantly, but then Hearts of Oak has so much quality now. It's undeniable.
They have a free kick. Last year when Kotoko beat them by 2-1, Kotoko had the opportunity to represent Ghana in the United States, in Washington, D.C. If it ends his way, Didi Dramani and his players will be on that flight to the United States.
So it's not just the silverware at stake. It's not just the pride at stake. It's just shutting up their noisy neighbors, city rivals at stake. But then it's also about representing the country in the United States in the Capital Cup next year, which is quite huge.
Mensah's cross flicked away by Ejenim. Chance for a second for the Phobians. Hamza looking for space, and Asma's effort goes on to the tartan tracks and is a goal kick.
Yeah, and it's still Ghazali on the touchline, and he's been taking to the media. He can barely sit. The fact that they're one up.
It's over. Victory at the Legon University of Ghana Sports Stadium for the Phobians. Hearts of Oak. Second team lucky. In the first edition, they lost to their bitter rivals. And in the second edition, they beaten their city rivals by a lone goal courtesy substitute, Kwesi Asma. Second silverware for Didi Dramani ahead of the new season. It's over here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium in the 2025 Democrats Cup. And all hail the Phobians. Full time. Hearts of 1. Great Olympics 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, that ends it for us for the Democracy Cup 2025. While we take a few minutes to set up and bring you the medal presentation. A big congratulations to Accra Hearts of Oak for winning the 2025 Democracy Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, please do take a seat for a few minutes while we set up to bring you the medal presentation and the man of the match. So while we wait, Mr. DJ, please play us some music.
all over here. Congratulations to Accra Hearts of Oak. They are walking away with the 2025 Cup. And it's been a very good day at the office today. Look at the crowd. It's been a massive outing here today. But obviously, this Democracy Cup has to go to a winner. And we say congratulations to Accra Hearts of Oak. I've been joined by Coach Sule of Accra Great Olympics. Coach, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time. First of all, despite the fact that you were on the losing side, I think that a big congratulations should go to you. How have you managed to put together such a team as you get ready for the season?
Okay, I think as we just said earlier on, it's a preparation that we had, which is the pre-season, which we are preparing towards the main league, which is the ultimate. I'm trying my possible best to make sure that I qualify Olympics back to the Premier. So the ultimate is to make sure that maybe we win this Democracy, but it's not unfortunate that we lost it. So we have to go back and make sure that this is our first week of pre-season. So we need to go back and make sure that we work on our pre-season, and then we take it from there.
All right, this is one of the first competitive games that you've played during your pre-season. You've had time to put the team together. This is a blend of the old and some of the players who have also had a taste at the top level before. How easy or difficult was it to blend this team to get such a performance today?
You know, it's very tough for me as a coach, especially when it comes to our players' mentality. So I try my possible best to make sure that I switch their mentality to my system. So I think that's exactly what they are doing, and they are really improving. Every session you see, there's an improvement.
Which means that there's a lot to look forward to when the season begins.
Exactly, because the Zone 3 is same like playing in the Premier.
Exactly.
So we are trying to make sure that we get the right materials, that we understand the system, that we understand the information, that we understand the tactics as well. So we are on course.
Okay, what message will you give to the many Olympic fans out there? What should they look out for this season?
Yes, we're still trying to put a very solid team for them. We really appreciate their time. We admire them with their support and everything. They should still come in their numbers and come and support. We still need them around us so that at least they can push the team back to Premier. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Congratulations. You did a yeoman's job there. That was the head coach of Accra Great Olympics. And we'll also find out from the winning coach what the mentality was like going into the match itself. But obviously, it has been a match that most people have enjoyed here, and especially the Accra Hearts of Oak fans, because it gives them a fair idea of what to expect going into the season. Coach Didi, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time. This is one match I saw you from a distance, and you were sitting at the edge of your seat. Sometimes it looks like things were not going
to observe from a very fair point of view, to appreciate what your players are doing. Remember, the Olympics team came with a very low block, and so you need a lot of patience, you need a lot of belief in what you are doing to control the spaces. And so it is something when I get up is just to re-emphasize on what we had agreed to do in terms of the spaces that were available, and then where there's no space, how we need to be more calm and be more patient, and then keep moving the ball and then moving the opponent, and then surely you will surely find the spaces.
I see. Okay, most of the fans here are happy that Accra Hearts of Oak won. I'll take your view. Is the contentment in the fact that you won, or the contentment is in the fact that your team played well?
Oh, I think winning is good, but I think that on a very fair point is to also think about how we want to progress in terms of improving the small parts of the game, so that we can develop, our game model, and also develop our philosophy and then the culture that we're trying to institute. And so for me, winning is good, but I think that the anger to compete is more paramount, and also the zeal to try to execute what you have believed in and what you trust to do is more important.
I see. Okay. Now moving forward, let me wrap up with you quickly. Moving forward, will this put paid to your total pre-season, or there's still a few more screws to tighten up?
There's always moment to improve, and I think that I personally want to improve, and I want my players to also improve I've said it time and again that systems, formations, and tactics sometimes don't win games, but the decisions players make on the pitch of full of play, and then the problems they are able to solve. All that we need to continue to do is to continue to give them the type of solutions and to give them the plans in order to be able to solve these problems. We don't solve problems on the pitch. We can only suggest, but they have to execute the planning. And so I think that it's good we win, but there's still more to improve, and then we are very open to improve.
All right. Coach, thank you very much. Congratulations. The team has put up a splendid performance. The fans are happy, and I'm sure that there's a lot more excitement in the stands. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you. Phobia. Thanks for coming.
There you go. So head coach Didi Dramani of Accra Hearts of Oak sending the signs that yes, all seem to be well with the team and it can only get better. I've been joined by the clerk of Parliament because they are the main reason why we are here anyway, and so we also have to hear from them. Clerk of Parliament, Mr. Chitro, I believe. Thank you very much for joining us. How have you encompassed the atmosphere? How has it been like for you today?
Oh, all here, all present here are living witnesses. It's been exciting, very enthusiastic. All of us are happy. You can see the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You can see the cheers. I don't think there's anybody here who has frowned.
Certainly not.
And this is healthy for us. Apart from the fact that, you know, in terms of health, this is very good. It is also healthy for we as a people of Ghana. It's healthy for our democracy.
Sure.
It's healthy for good governance.
I mean, you brought almost every Ghanaian that matters here from different parts of the divide.
Yes.
And obviously, we have all seen what democracy can do for us, for the betterment of Ghana.
That's right.
So, what's next after this?
Oh, what next after this? Democracy Cup has come to stay.
All right.
It has been inculcated into the national calendar of events, ceremonies, which we have to observe.
Okay.
You can see His Excellency, the head of state and president of the Republic of Ghana, himself was here. The acting Chief Justice, right here.
Yeah.
The Speaker of Parliament, right here.
Yeah.
So the heirs, the functionaries or the heirs of the organs of state have all bought into the idea. And not just that, the constitutional bodies. The electoral commissioner wasn't here, but her two deputies, were here. The chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education is also here. Currently still there.
Okay, all right. Well, we've had fun. It's been exciting. All we can say is that kudos to all of us as Ghanaians, and we can only hope that next year it grows and gets even bigger and better.
Certainly.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
And next year, for information, next year, this is what is going to happen. We were just talking. Mr. Speaker has sanctioned it. I was just, drawing His Excellency the President's attention that next year is not just going to be between two organs of state. We want the three organs of state, the executive, Parliament, the judiciary, and we also want the constitutional bodies, the Electoral Commission, National Commission for Civic Education, Commission on Human Rights and Reproductive Justice, and the National Media Commission. All of them will come together. Probably they'll do a gala, and then one commission wins, and then we have to, pitch our camp against each other. Parliament, judiciary, executive, maybe one of the, and then we do the elimination series until we get to the final laps.
I think that would be bigger and better. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the Clerk of Parliament also sharing his thoughts with us. Now let's get to the game itself. And we saw a very good game. Hearts gave their best, Olympics gave their best, but at the end of the day, one team had to win, and one team it was, Accra Hearts of Oak. I've been joined by the man who got the goal, who put the smiles on all their faces. Congratulations. First, give us your name.
Kwesi Asma.
Kwesi Asma is his name. He emerged as the MVP for the game. But see, thank you very much for joining us. But let me start with you. How was the preparation like for this particular game?
Oh, to be honest, we were really prepared. Coach gave us instructions and everything. So during training grounds, we were working perfectly on what to do. So we were expecting anything from the opposition side.
I see. Okay, that's your camera. So you are talking to Ghanaians. Came the moment of the match. You got onto the field. How was it like? You saw the opposition from Accra Great Olympics. Did they give you any worries in the match?
They gave us a very good run for our money. Seriously. We just had to be patient, calm, and we kept on with the pressure until we got the goal. We were very prepared for this.
You were very prepared. Yes. And after this, getting ready to start the league, what message do you have for your fans?
We will call on all the Phobia family to always come in their numbers and support us. We need their support. Without them, we can't do this. So we always need them to support us. We will also do our best to always put smiles on their face. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kwesi, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job done here today. All right, so that was the MVP for the game, Kwesi Asma of Accra Hearts of Oak. Talking to us. Blackgate joins me again, but behind us is the presentation, which is ongoing, and we'll be crossing in and out of the presentations to find out exactly what is happening. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Behind us is the presentation stage. All is just about set, but we indeed have witnessed a good game here today. Blackgate.
The Great Olympics gave us a very good game. It was a fascinating battle across the 90 minutes. And for them, this being the first competitive preseason game for them to play against Hearts of Oak speaks volume. It tells you the kind of quality coach that they have in Coach Sule Adamu, one of the finest young coaches on the local scene. And for Great Olympics themselves, what they brought on board today tells you the kind of quality in there that they have. The player spotted number 10, Jesse Buachi, has been an explosive, a revelation, an entertaining player to be able to watch here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. And for Hearts of Folk, continuity is key. They continue from where they let off in the GACA Top 4 competition, where they beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko by 2-0. And this evening, in an awkward opponent like Great Olympics, they found a way to win the game.
Found a way to win the game, but the Accra Great Olympics have really surprised a lot of people here. Nanedu, you predicted that at least the first 45 will be a slender lead for Accra Great Olympics. Will you say that Olympics lost the game maybe because of inexperience?
Hearts of Oak have a good team. Hearts of Oak, they have a good team. So I'm not really surprised the second half they were able to pick the maximum win. 1-0 against Olympics. I think let's give praise to the Olympic coach. The way he managed the game, the way he was able to protect his back four, not to concede more goals against Hearts of Oak, he did well. And I think Hearts of Oak deserve to get a second half win. 1-0 win against Olympics is a good win for them, but I think Olympics have done enough to at least manage.
All right, okay, so we will take a look at what is happening back there. And I've just seen the Right Honourable Suman Agbabin, the Speaker of Parliament, just mounting the stage. The Garman chair is also there. Okay, so the gentleman on the podium, Clerk of Parliament, is there. The Speaker of Parliament is also there. The Garman chair is also there. We are going to go through the presentation of the trophy and the most valuable player. And the first presentation has just been announced. It goes to Kwesi Asma of Accra Hearts of Oak. What a game he had to top a goal to Accra Hearts of Oak's credit. And so they say, official Dom will say congratulations to him and this is to encourage him for a better performance, and indeed a sterling performance when the season begins. Man of the Match award going to Kwesi Asma of Accra Hearts of Oak. It will now be the turn of the match officials, the teams, to also receive their medals, and then eventually we will have the presentation of the 2025 Democracy Cup. So we now concentrate on the match officials for the final match. They will also be decorated. Order. Don't forget the gentlemen in blue are also match officials. They officiated in the curtain raiser, and these were the catch them young referees, and good job done. They receive their commemorative medal for their performance here today, and congratulations to these young men. So now, after the medal presentation to the officials, it's now the turn of Accra Great Olympics to mount the stage and be decorated with their second place or silver medals. It's now the turn of the Accra Great Olympics team. They're also known as the Wonder Club. And they came, they saw, they couldn't conquer though, but they played their hearts out. Congratulations to this young team, and according to Coach Sule, he says he's taking his time to put this team together. The target is to get Accra Great Olympics back to the Premiership. And I'm sure they'll be spurred on by this feat and will go the extra mile. Still going on with the presentation of medals to Accra Great Olympics. Runners up in this Democracy Cup. Congratulations to Accra Great Olympics. Good job done. Now it's the turn of the team officials, and bringing up the rear is the man who's making things work for Accra Great Olympics, the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Eric Alagidede. So congratulations to Accra Great Olympics. Is now the turn of the winners of the 2025 KGL Democracy Cup. And here come the glorious Accra Hearts of Oak.
Accra
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Accra Great Olympics! I beg your pardon, Accra Hearts.
Congratulations to the eventual winners. Glorious Accra Hearts of Oak picking up their medals. Good job done. A 1-0 victory over their arch rivals, Accra Great Olympics.
We'll be moving to Germany. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise one more time for your champions, Accra Hearts of Oak.
Wonderful performance from the team. The fans are happy. We had a chat with Didi Dramani. He says there is still more room for improvement, but he believes that the team will be ready enough to tackle the season. It's been a good job done at the office today for the Phobians. The players go through with their presentations. Is now the technical team. It's now the technical team of Accra Hearts of Oak who would also go through the presentation stage. I've seen Didi Dramani there. I've seen the team manager, Mr. Henry Marte, together with the other colleagues. And after the presentations, we will go over to the main podium where the trophy will be presented, and I'm sure this will be done by the Speaker of Parliament in the absence of His Excellency the President. Congratulatory handshakes are in order as the Chief Executive Officer of the National Sports Authority, or the Director General, Mr. Yao Mpofoankra, joins them on the podium. It's now the opportunity of the presentation of the trophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Right Honorable Speaker will do us the honors. So now let's go for the final part of the presentation. Is when that glittering trophy is lifted by Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, handed over to Niga, and this will also be handed over to
now, ladies and gentlemen,
Mr. Esibe.
Parliament will hand the trophy to the captain of the Accra Hearts of Oak side.
Osei Esibe receives the trophy from Niga.
Ladies and gentlemen,
over to the podium for the final presentation. After a hard day of the 2025 Democracy Cup, is none other than Accra Hearts of Oak. Congratulations to the Phobians.
Your champions.
They will commence the season with at least a trophy and a medal to show. Hard work leads to success.
They get to raise the Commander trophy and also make the trip to Germany. Ladies and gentlemen, my name has been and continues to be Bob Yotis.
Didi Dramani enjoys a keenly ride, but definitely it is the coronation of hard work and dedication on the part of Accra Hearts of Oak.
To Interblast, to Ratibai, to Grow Ghana, to Ghana Tourism Authority, to GNBC, to Ghana Girls and all of our media brothers and sisters here. We say a very big thank you to you for making your way here. Ladies and gentlemen, we will live on Max TV until we come your way again. It is your champions, our champions, Accra, Heart of Oak.
Well, viewers, thank you very much. It's all over here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, where Accra Hearts of Oak have lifted the giant KGL Democracy Cup for the year 2025. It was hard work, it was dedication. They came against their arch rivals, Accra Great Olympics, who did not disgrace at all. They have proved beyond reasonable doubt that they are ready to tackle Division 1 and bounce back to the Premiership. For Accra Hearts of Oak, they believe that nothing but success should follow them through and through from this stage as they wrap up with their pre-season training. It's been fun. It's been exciting, and we know you out there have also enjoyed all the fun and all the bliss. Amanziba Nat Brew passed through to entertain the crowd in the presence of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana. Once again, on behalf of the entire crew that made this coverage possible, we say thank you very much. And as you rightly know and trust, Max TV, we are there to bring you nothing but the best and the latest in the world of sports. My name is Prince Anand. Have a goodbye for now till we meet again. Goodbye.